Hey everyone, as always, Dylan, Miller Prospecting. As you can see from this very recognizable packaging, I am going to be reviewing GoldGitters.com. This is actually their critical strength 3+ gram bag. One of my friends sent it to me. He had bought it and he wanted me to review it, so he sent it to me. Kind of funny because, I had actually got an email. I mean, it's not funny, it's funny and sad. But I got an email from Lou, the owner of Gold Gitters, a while back, a few months ago, telling me that he didn't want me to, and he sent my email to me at my old web address at payreviews.com. And he essentially sent me a message saying he didn't want me to review them. And it was out of the blue, and I thought that was kind of weird. I mean, why would you send me that message? So I emailed him back saying, well, why did you send me this message? I didn't have any plans to review you, but if there's a reason I shouldn't review you, And he said, oh, well, you sent me a contact form, and I was replying to it. And I hadn't sent a contact form submission, so I thought it was odd. So I had him send me a copy of it to me. And it wasn't me. It was someone who uses a very similar review name as my old one, payreviews.com. But it wasn't me. It actually said their name in there, which is not Dylan. Their name was actually something else. And the message essentially said, I don't have a copy of it, I do have it saved somewhere, but it essentially said that they wanted to know if he had any more Paydirt in stock because he wanted to order some to do a review for it on YouTube. And then he gave his YouTube name, which is very, very similar to mine, or my old one, payreviews.com. So I'm sure you can figure out which reviewer this is. So I looked up his old review, and he did. At that time, he had just did one where he got a 100% ROI. So I thought that was a little odd that you send somebody a message and you get 100% ROI. So probably shouldn't use a name really similar to mine. So anyway, I messaged one of my buddies and told him about it because I thought it was funny. I said, here's this guy, he's messaging these Paydirt reviewers beforehand, the Paydirt sellers beforehand, telling me he's going to review them. And he bought some of this, and he sat on it for about a month, and he sent it to me, so I'm going to review it, and I'm going to find out exactly how good this stuff really is. And again, it's 3+ grams, so let's get into it. A couple things about this is this seller, I tend to think, is doing this more as a fun thing as opposed to a lot of these other sellers where they're trying to be really serious. I mean, obviously, it's things like critical strength, and here it says how to use this product. Use 1 tablespoon at a time for your gold fever remedy. The instructions, it's all pretty much a joke. So I'm going to review it based on that with the description and stuff like that. But a couple things. One is the packaging is pretty funny. It's a little IV bag. But this thing is just leaking like a sip. I don't know from where. Because when I pulled it out of the bag, I said, oh, wonder how he got the dirt in there. Well, I don't know how the dirt has stayed in there because it is just everywhere. I mean, it's just getting everywhere. I can't even get it out of this bag. So, I'll show you. I mean, it's just... This thing is leaking so badly. Obviously not, it's all over my table now. I'm going to have to wipe that all up. But I'm going to open this up. Let's weigh it up before it leaks everything out. Let's see how much it is. He doesn't tell you how much it's going to weigh, so there's no, if this is 10 pounds or 1 pound, it's going to be the same. It's 1 pound, 4 ounces. I don't know if you can read that. Zoom in a little bit. But it's 1 pound, 4 ounces. Let's open it up. See what you get. So I'll tell you, his description for this is a fun and challenging alternative to Paydirt. Chunky to fine gold plus generous amounts of black sands, garnets, and quartz make this the perfect remedy for your gold fever. So, and like I said, I tend to think that he's treating this more as a gag gift than he is as Paydirt. And, the packaging is really cool, but it leaks like crazy. So, it's a really thick bag. I don't know where it's leaking from. Maybe it's, I don't know. I was thinking maybe he cut it open where the label was to get the Paydirt. Yep, see, that's it. So he cuts it open to put the Paydirt in, and the label didn't stick. See? The Paydirt got on here. So, you know, and he does say there could be minus 100 gold, so maybe there's some gold stuck to that as well. So, but, all right, let's classify this down so we can see what we got here. Put my scale away. All right, so y'all listen to some music. I'm gonna classify this down and see what I get. Well, as you can see, almost all of the material is in the minus 40. So I'm going to be really curious to see how much of this gold is in the minus 40. I mean, I've seen a lot of gold, and there's a piece right there, while I was classifying it down. So, I mean, I saw a lot of gold that's in the larger material, but I'm going to be really curious to see how much of that is in the minus 40. And let's see how much black sands. I mean, just looking at it, you can see it's got a ton of black sands. But unfortunately, it's not a lot of magnetics. I mean, you can see the color of this is almost black. I mean, it looks black and tan, but not a lot of it is magnetic. So that's going to make it a real pain in the butt, you know. So this should be some challenging Paydirt, depending on how much gold is in this minus 40. So it does say you can find up to minus 100 gold. This stuff is from Mississippi. As you can see, really big garnets. I mean, really big garnets. Never seen any this big before. Really cool. But I'm going to go pan this out, and I'm going to be right back and see how much gold we get. Well, that took a minute. In fact, it took me most of the day. Let's get right into it so I can show you. It was pretty fun. In the plus 10, I found 3 little bitty pickers. Wouldn't call them nuggets. They're just little bitty pickers. I did weigh them up. They weighed about 1/4 gram. So I will say this really surprised me, and not in a bad way or anything like that. But a lot of times when you buy multi-gram bags, you'll get, you know, like for this one, it's a 3+ gram bag. Is you'll get like 2 nuggets that weigh 2 grams total. So you're still only really getting a 1 gram bag just with 2 big nuggets added in. And this one, when I saw these, I was like, oh, okay, that's 1/4 gram. That means I still got 2.75 grams under 10 mesh. So I was pretty excited for that. And so when I got to the minus 10 plus 20, I found even more gold. 143 pieces to be exact, and yes, I did count them. It was 143. So I was really excited about that. It made it a lot of fun, and as you saw, there wasn't a ton of material. You know, in the everything above the 40 mesh, there wasn't a ton of material, so it was just more gold than dirt, essentially. So it was a ton of fun. And then I got to the minus 20 plus 40 and found even more gold. I mean, I did count this. I'm not going to count. I'm not going to try to count it. And it's probably in the 500 piece range. I mean, I don't think I've ever found this much gold. And I've had some bags where I've gotten 3 grams before. And I don't think there was that much in the smaller material. Like I said, usually you'll get a couple big nuggets to take up the majority of the weight. So this was a ton of fun. And then I got to the minus 40. And I found even more gold. I mean, another 500 pieces, just a ton of fine gold. Now, this one was a lot of work because as I showed you, there was just probably half of the 40 mesh, under 40, was black sands. But unfortunately, it wasn't magnetite. So it wasn't magnetized. So there was no way I could have used a magnet if I wanted to. So it's really a pain in the butt. It was really difficult to get all these little boogers in this pan and away from all their little friends. So this is what took me forever. But, you know, and what's funny is, you know, this probably won't even budge the scale much, but we'll find out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to weigh all this up just to see how much this is. So let's start cleaning it up and see what we got. These all to the bottom. I mean, I gotta tell you, this was a really, really fun bag. And you know, I know it's gonna be a little hard for me to do this review because I know the seller is not primarily trying to sell this as Paydirt. He's doing it kind of as like a gag gift Paydirt, you know, where, you know, he's making comedy out of it. So it's gonna be hard to review, but I gotta tell you, it was a ton of fun. I mean, it's always great to get gold in every single classification. I had really easy Paydirt at the top, really, you know, fun Paydirt, and then really, you know, really difficult in the end. So, but, all right, let's get this. I don't want to spill any, so. And I'm going to guess by the looks of it, it's a little bit over 3 grams, but I don't think this is a monster bag. I don't think this is going to be anything like 4 or 5 grams. I mean, this is going to be really close to 3 grams. If I had to guess, I'd say maybe 3 and a 3.2. That's just a guess. Yeah, there. Fine gold wants to go into the brush sometimes. All right, so let's turn on the scale. And I still managed to get some in the pan. This is why I use the little catch pan. These two wanted to get away. All right. All right, there you go. It's all, let me zoom you in. It's all zeroed out. That was close. There we go. Oh, let me hide my sponsor. Someone joked about that. I could see the names on my thing, so they must have been the note. Sponsors. All right, there we go. 3.220 grams. I'm not going to complain about that. That was, I don't even know what the ROI is, but that was a ton of fun. So I'm going to be right back, and I will tell you what my ROI is as well as my review. So be right back. All right, back, finished crunching up all the numbers. Take a picture. Look how nice a pile that is. Beautiful pile right next to that golden dime. All right, so let's get into it. This is from goldgitters.com. I've seen some people call it gold jitters, but I don't think that's how it's, from being from the South, Gitters, you know, like Gitterdon and stuff like that. So I'm going to call it goldgitters.com. This is their critical strength 3+ gram bag. You're guaranteed 3+ grams or more. I did find that. The cost, now a buddy of mine ordered this, as I told you before, the little funny story about why he ordered this for me. He didn't write down the cost and the shipping cost. So all I have is a total cost, which is $179.95. So that's what this cost. Right now I did see they were out of stock. I'm sure he gets it pretty sporadically. So anyway, the gold recovered was 3.220 grams. And today's gold spot is $41.59. So grand total gold's value is $133.92, which means my ROI for this is 74.42%, or on my scale, a 7.4. So that's really good. I'm not going to complain about that. I mean, I wish it was higher, but 75% is, you can't really complain about that. They do have to make profit, the shipping and stuff like that. So I'm not going to complain about that. 74.42% is pretty good. For the fun factor, I'm giving them a 10. I loved this Paydirt. I mean, I absolutely loved it. It was really tough at the end. It had a lot of shiny gold in it. And the one thing I liked about it is, like I said before, a lot of times when you buy multi-gram bags, you'll get some really big pieces of gold. And when it gets down to all the fine stuff like this, you're still only getting a gram. Essentially, they take a gram bag and then they throw in 4 or 5 huge pieces of gold. And I really like this one, that there was just a ton of small flakes. So it was really, really fun. If I could give them over a 10, I would. This would be one of those few bags that I would give over a 10 if I could. Now for Paydirt description, I'm going to give him an 8. Technically, he probably should get a 6 or below. But like I said, he's doing this kind of as a jest, you know, and it's kind of funny. And I think it's kind of kitschy. So I'm going to give him an 8. I really shouldn't, but you know, the fun factors maybe got me a little whoopsie in the head. So I'm going to give him an 8 anyway. And it's my reviews. I can do whatever I want. So for quantity and packaging, I'm giving him an 8.5. 10 for quantity because, you know, he states no amount, so you really can't fault him no matter what you get. And I'm giving him a 7 for the bag. Like I said, I really like these bags. And he would probably score a 9 with this because with this and the paper bag, it just so happens that, you know, he cuts them right here to fill them. And when he cut it, I guess some leaked out just enough that it stopped the glue from sticking for the paper. So, you know, it leaked. Did all get caught in the paper bag? But, you know, again, I'm just going to give him... So he gets an 8.5 for quantity and packaging due to that. Customer service and shipping, a 10 all around. You know, Lou really responded to all my emails. I replied back and forth to him. Really nice guy. He's from the South, so you got to get bonus points for us Southern folks. The shipping was super fast. You know, I've never heard any complaints about him not shipping fast, you know. So, total score for Gold Gitters is an 8.8. So, finally starting to get some high numbers again. Really love this. So I had a blast. I mean, I'm not going to complain about this. You know, and sorry, Lou, I know you didn't want to be reviewed, but you got to review anyway. It's not my fault. It's the other guy's fault who sent you emails asking to do a Paydirt review on you, and you emailing me, asking me why I was emailing you. When I wasn't, it was the other guy. So, all right. Thanks, everyone, as always. Make sure you hit the little button down here to subscribe. Hit the bell below so you can get some notifications and when I post a new video. And leave a comment, as always. See you next time. Happy panning.